So I beg your pardon, friends, right? Let's begin our class.
We don't forget you. Sorry, teacher.
Sorry. It was an interesting class, you know. So there was a delay. I'm very sorry. It won't happen again. Ben, let's begin our class. You know that we have a homework, so I want to begin checking the homework. Let's see. The homework was reading exercise number 5 on page 108. Let's go to that page. No, it's in the student's book. Page 108. Good. Well, it says exercise number 5. Why do we need lifelong learning? This is the typical use of English Part 1 in your exams. They give you a text with normally 8 spaces in blank, and then they give you options A, B, C, or D. Always in your exam, reading and use of English Part 1, similar to this. Incentives play an important, this is the example, role, an important role in our decisions to learn. As we age, the outcomes of, in number 1, what is your answer? A, B, C, or D? For Ivan is A. Hi, Monica. For Patrick Pies is A. And for Martha Moreno is A. For Ana Huerta is A. Natalie is A. Okay. Yes, friends. It is letter A, participation. Yes, the outcomes of participation in learning are not the same as when we were younger. The type of work related learning we do also changes as we get older. Most workers over 45 participate in learning. Number 2, A, B, C, or D, opinions. For Ivan, B. For Patrick Pies is B. For Ana Huerta is B. Martha, B. Ainhoa, B. Alvaro, hi Alvaro, friend, B. Yes, Natalie is B. Friends, B is correct. Yes, activities, correct. In learning activities directly related to their function. By contrast, young workers are more likely to regard training as an, in number 3, A, B, C, or D. For Anna is B. For Martha is B. For the monitor is B. For Patrick is B. Alvaro is B. And for Ainhoa is B. And yes, B is correct, friends. Investment. In number 3, as an investment in their future careers. Organizations want to continually renew their skills base and, until recently, have, in number 4, what is your letter? For Anna is C, for the monitor is letter C2. Patrick coincides with C. Martha coincides with C. Very good, friends. C is the correct answer. Achieved. Correct. So, recently have achieved this largely through a steady inflow of newly qualified young people onto the labor. And now number 5. What is your letter for number 5? D for Martha, D for Patrick, D for Anna. And it is letter D for Ivan too. Yes, and for Natalie, letter D. Friends, correct. Market is the correct answer here. Onto the labor market, traditionally, we have had a mix of those young people who bring new skills to the workplace and a proportion of older workers who 6. What is the letters for number 6? C for Martha, and for Anna, and for Ivan. C for Patripies. Yes, friends, you are correct. Contribute, letter C. Yes, Alvaro, letter C, contribute. Who contribute their experience. We are now seeing a decreasing proportion of young people entering the workforce and an increase in the proportion of older people. So unless we change the number 7, what is your answer for number 7? For Ivan, the monitor is letter D. Ainhoa coincides with D. Patrick Pai agrees with D. Martha thinks is letter D too. Yes, friends, you are right. Nature, yes, Natalie, nature is the correct answer. The nature of our learning across life. We'll see number 8. What is the letter for you? A for Martha, A for Anna, and for Patrick Pais too, A. And for the rest, for Natalie is A. The monitor A. The answer is decline, A, correct. So we'll see a decline in these new skills in the working population. Very good, because they are 8, similar to the real exam. So friends, in silence, alone, in the darkness of your room, nobody can see, evaluate your work. If you have 5 correct answers, you are passing. If you only have 3 or 4, don't tell anybody. Huh? Shit. And say that you passed. Huh? Don't tell anybody. But the self-evaluation is extremely important these days. We need to know how good, regular, or badly are doing. Well, friends, and now what? Well, now we are going to the reading that we have in the same page, but the reading part here, reading and use of English part 1, exercise 3. Let's go to exercise 3. It says, I'm going to read it. Work in pairs. Compare your definitions, then discuss this question. Let's see the questions, because these are the important things. Let's see if I can make it bigger here on the screen. 3 questions. Number 1, why do some adults want to learn something new? And this is the moment of speaking in class. So I really, really appreciate if you participate in the speaking. Why do some adults want to learn something new?
Maybe it's possible those adults want to learn something new because they need it for their jobs.
Yes.
I think. Or
yes.
Maybe because they are going to travel abroad and they need to learn something about this country, sorry. And I think it's a new opportunity to learn about the culture or about the situation of the country.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yes. These are possibilities. Yes. Thank you, monitor.
You're welcome.
Another student, it's very easy to speak about this. Why do some adults want to learn something new? Who can speak about this apart from Ivan?
I think I agree with Ivan when he said that some adults want to study something new because they want to achieve a skill or promotion in their job. And in other occasion, I think that we only learn something new because to personal achievements or such a hobby.
Yes. Good point. I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm Ana.
Ana Huerta. Thank you, Anita. Thank you very much, friend. Yes, yes, you are right. You are right. Sometimes adults lose their jobs and they have to retrain. Retrain is the name we give in English for that. Retrain. That is, you have to study something new because you need to work, right? So you begin studying something new. There are other people who, as a personal, challenge, a personal challenge, they want to study something that they have been planning to study all their lives, but it has been impossible before because of a familiar situation or because of the job or because they have been very busy, and now they see a chance and then they begin studying again, right? They begin. That's why sometimes at universities we see people that we consider, because you are teenagers, right? You are very young, and you say, what is that person studying here with me in the same classroom? He must be 45 or 55, or yes, because they want to study. Why not? Good, good. The other question number 2 is, how is learning as an adult different from learning as a younger person? Who can speak something, anything about this topic? I repeat the question. How is this process of learning, right? Learning as an adult different from learning as a younger person? What do you think of this?
I think that maybe one difference could be
I'm
that
sorry, who's that?
I'm Natalie.
Hi, Natalie. Okay, continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly well. It's like listening to a little girl. Yes, Natalie. Natalie, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, now.
Okay, I was saying that maybe one difference is that as an adult you may study because you like and or you have an interest in something and you don't see it as an obligation, maybe.
Yes, yes, that's it, Natalie. Imagine this situation. You are a person who has always been studying, you love studying, but there was something, a subject, una asignatura, un tema, a subject that you were not able to study because then you initiated a family, you have children, and you have to dedicate all your time to do your job and to help at home, right? So you are very busy. You cannot continue your studies, but then your children grow up, they get married, and then maybe you are 55, huh? But now you have the time, and making an effort, you say, I'm going to do it. Now is the moment of finishing my career or finishing my studies or beginning my studies again. And then those people, who are many, they enter the universities, colleges, and academies to continue or to initiate their studies. It happens a lot. Does any one of you have another opinion about this question number 2? Okay, let's go to number 3. Why do you think the idea of lifelong learning has become so popular in recent years? Why do you think the idea of lifelong learning has become so popular in recent years? Imagine that you are in an exam and you have to say something. You don't have to be very philosophical about this, but you need to say something about the question because you want to pass the exam. You know that Cambridge teachers are not going to be very strict with the content of your words. What they want is to check your English. So what would you answer?
I think that because, for example, in technology, Each day, all the technology is developing too fast, and if you don't, sorry, if you aren't prepared for that, if you don't study each day or at least each year,
Yes.
it will be very difficult to, I don't know, to be adapted in your job or in the society.
Yes, exactly. Yes. You have to be updating and updating and updating, because if not, you get rusty. Yes, I agree. You know what? I hadn't thought about this possibility before. Thank you. Is that Martha?
Yes, it was me.
Martha, what about Javi?
This week he's working at this time.
Oh, what
He's putting the marks to the students.
okay. But you are passing to him the lessons and everything. Oh no.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you, Martha. Thank you very much. Okay, friends, we finished with the speaking part or not? Yes, I prefer going to the workbook in order to change, because the dynamic of the class must be up. So let's go to page 51 in your workbooks. Let's see something that we have there and is interesting for me. Let me show you the page. I think this is the page or not. Page 51. Yes. This is reading and use of English exercise. You see, reading and use of English part 2. The title of the topic is electronic voting system. And let me ask you a question, friends. In the student's book, page 108, we did as homework, why do we need lifelong learning? And this is considered to be reading and use of English part 1. And remember the characteristic of the exam. Reading and use of English part 1, they give you the text and they give you A, B, C, or D. But in this part, in part 2, they give you the text and nothing more. You have to fill in the blanks using your knowledge of English. Right? This is part 2 in your exam. So friends, I'm going to give you some minutes for you to do this exercise, but please, as soon as you finish, send me a message for me to check the answers and help you if necessary. Come on, let's begin working. Exercise, reading and use of English, workbook, page 51. Martha finished, Ainhoa finished, Patripa is finished. Álvaro finished. Anna finished. Very good, very good. Well, let's check. Let's check. Electronic voting system, because university lectures are usually attended by a large number of students. There is little interaction and way for the lecturer. What is in number one? The possible answers for you. For Ainhoa is no, for Martha is no, for Patripa is no. Yes, friends, no is the answer, is correct. Yes, and no way for the lecturer to check whether the students are benefiting. However, thanks an invention in number two for Martha, two for Patrick, two for Ainhoa, two for Anna, two for Natalie, and I don't see the boys. I don't see Ivan. I don't see Alvaro. My God, where are the boys? Well, two is perfect, girls. Very good. Ah, finally, Alvaro. Well, however, thanks to an invention known as for Martha, for Patrick is as, for Ainhoa is as, for Ana Huerta is as, and for Natalie too. Very good. The answer is as, yes, as an electronic voting system, or clickers for short. This situation is beginning to change. Clickers are handheld devices on which, for Ainhoa, very good. Martha, which for Anna, and for Natalie, and for Patrick. Thank you, girls, because boys are absent. Yes, which, Alvaro, thank you, friend. Which, yes, on which students click the relevant button to answer questions posed by the lecturer. The students' answers are communicated to the lecturer's computer either by infrared transmitter, and now in number 5, or for Martha, or for Patty and Ainhoa, or for Alvaro. Thank you, Alvaro. Correct. Or is the correct option in number 5, or by radio frequency. And the results are displayed on the lecturer's projection screen at the front of the hall. Initially, lecturers presumed that the advantages of clickers for the students would be that they would make lectures an interactive blank 6. More for Martha, more for Patrick, more for Anna. Well, the answer is much for Alvaro. Well, the perfect answer in number 6 is rather, because you have done, no more than, it's rather than, yes, I know, rather than a passive, rather 6, rather than a passive experience. But there have been unforeseen advantages for the lecturers themselves, because they are much more in touch with 7. What for Ainhoa? How for Natalie? How for Martha? That for Patri? How for Ana Huerta? How is the answer? How? 7, how? With how the students are getting on in the subject. It also seems that the students talk to other. To what? In number 8. to each. I know Patri and Martha each. Aha, no more Ana Huerta each. Yes, each is the answer. Alvaro, yes. Natalie, yes. Each other. About the content of their lectures, much more. So, conclusion. In number one, I'm going to repeat this because I always insist, hey, students, try to self-evaluate in secret. In number one is no. In number two is to. In number three is as. In number four is which. In number five is or. In number six is rather. In number seven is how. And in number 8 is each. You need five correct answers to pass this imaginary evaluation. Congratulations to the kids who passed this evaluation. Let's go now to page 109 in the student's book, because I want to practice for the speaking exam. So let's go to page, I repeat, 109. Speaking. And now, in this page, let me go to the page. Well, this is the workbook. I want to go to student's book. Give me a second because I want to show you the page. This one. Speaking here. As you can see, friends, it says speaking, but now in blue color, part 4. Remember this. In the exam, part 4 means opinions. Page 109, Alvaro. 109. Well, friends, I repeat, part 4 in your speaking exam is this part when you have finished everything, you have finished the conversation and everything, and now the teacher is going to ask your opinion about different topics. The topics are connected with the conversation you had in part 3. Huh? Good. But now opinions. You have to give opinions. What was the topic of the part 3 before? In part 3, the previous part, the students discuss this topic you have on the screen on page 109 in your books. For what purposes are these approaches to learning, enfoques del aprendizaje, approaches to learning suited, adecuados, suited? For what purposes are these approaches to learning suited? Self-study, for example. Self-study is suited for people who are who don't have possibilities of going to a school, for example. So they have to study by themselves because maybe they live far away from schools, or because they are, imagine that they are in prison or they are in quarantine. Yes. So they can't go to school or an academy and study. So they have to study by themselves. This is the approach which is suited by self-study. A class of 20, 30 with a teacher. Well, this approach to learning, este enfoque para el aprendizaje, this approach to learning is suited, se adecua, is suited to, I think, elementary school, primary school, you know. Now, one-to-one, a teacher with a student, one-to-one lessons. I think that this approach to learning is suited for a student who are maybe studying a language, maybe, and they have money enough to pay for that specific lessons. And there are other possibilities, no? I'm telling you in general, because, sorry, but my microphone is not working, so okay, Alvaro, good. Well, a lecture to many people. A lecture to many people. For example, in these master classes, at a university, yes. And I think this approach to learning is suited for universities. Imagine that you are studying, I don't know what, imagine that you are studying engineering or architecture in one university, and one day the university has the possibility of inviting to the university a very famous architect or a very famous engineer, and the university wants this very important person to teach a lesson or to give a lecture to the majority possible students. So it is adequate for that, but it is not adequate, for example, for teaching languages, because it is impossible to study a language if there are 200 students in a classroom. Impossible. So it is suited for a master class at university. Now, group work without a teacher. That is always my question. What is the suited approach to learning for a group work without a teacher? I think this is suited for example, when the teacher hands in a task, something that the students have to do and delivered in a month or 2 weeks or a week, something that the teacher assigns by team. So the teams, maybe the teams divide the work into different parts, one part for each member of the team, but there is a day in which they have to sit together and work as a group to make the resume of the work that they are going to hand out to the teacher. I think, well, but listen to me. This discussion, this conversation was part 3. And now in part 4, what we have to do is to answer these questions that you have in exercise number 2. Question, not the letters. They are questions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is the topic of speaking part 4. These questions that you have there. Why do you think lectures are lectures in Spanish is las conferencias, right? Lectures. Lecturer, el conferencista. So why do you think lectures are more common as a form of teaching in universities than in schools? Very easy question, friends. Very easy. I repeat the question. Why do you think lectures are more common as a form of teaching in universities than in schools? Nobody knows.
Maybe because young people is too much difficult to do because of their behavior and their attention.
Yes, exactly that. Yes, I agree with you totally. Yes, you can only give a lecture for students who are mature, responsible, you know. They understand the importance of the lecture. Normally in a lecture, the teacher is not going to be stopping, checking if you understand or not. The teacher, the lecturer is, you know, giving the lecture, and you have to be responsible enough of paying attention, because the lecturer doesn't care if you pay attention or not. You have to be responsible, you, the student, have to be responsible enough to pay attention and write down notes. Huh? So you need preparation for a lecture. So basically, the problem is that the maturity of the pupils. You need the pupils to be responsible and mature to receive a lecture. In a lecture, maybe you have 30, 40, 50 students. Imagine that. Impossible to do it in schools. Any other opinion about number one, why do you think lectures are a more common as a form of teaching in university than in schools? Do you want to say something, friends? Nope. Okay, let's go to number two. What are the advantages and disadvantages of one-to-one teaching from a student's point of view? From a student's point of view, that is the opinion of the student. I repeat, advantages and disadvantages of one-to-one teaching. Opinions. We are in speaking, so we have to speak. Yes, please.
Well, I believe that the advantages are clear. Maybe that the teacher can see which are your doubts and which are your problems directly, because you are the only one person that he or she is teaching, and also that you can ask him or her whatever you want.
Yes.
But maybe it has also disadvantages because you are alone in a class with a teacher and you don't have the, I don't know how to say, maybe they take time to disconnect a little bit.
Yes.
I don't know.
And we need that, yes or no?
Yes, we can't stay all the time with the same rhythm.
My God, imagine that. Yes, yes. You are right. You are totally right. The advantage is that imagine that you are the student. Any doubt, any question, anything, any help you need, you can tell the teacher because you have one teacher for you. Yes. Another advantage is that the teacher knows your difficulties. The teacher knows exactly your handicaps because you are the only student in class. So the teacher can give you a very specific lesson for you. Revising and what? And practicing the things that you really want. These are the advantages. Disadvantages that in a one-to-one teaching, the student loses all the social part of the teaching. It is very important also to socialize. When we are in classes, in the classroom, and you are 10 students, 11 students, you can interact with others, you can speak with other students before the class, during the class, and after the class. You can interact with other people, and this is fantastic because we are social beings, seres sociales. We are social beings. So this part of the socialization is lost completely in one-to-one learning or teaching. Yes, you are totally right. Imagine that we are in the exam, right? This is part 4, opinions, and now we go to question 3. Some people think that individual study is the least effective way of learning. Do you share this view? Do you agree? Yes? Why? No? Why? Question 3. Who wants to speak about question 3?
Me.
Good.
I think that it depends on what you are studying. For example, if you have to memorize a long amount of information, or you are preparing a public exam, you need to study many hours. And I think that it is a good way to study alone because you have to be very concentrated. And then when you do the exam, you are alone and you have to prove your knowledge.
Yes. I think that when they say individual study, they are referring to those people who have to study alone, without teachers, I mean. Maybe they refer to that. Some people think that individual study is the least effective way of learning. Do you share this view? Why not? Why yes or why not? I think they are referring to those people who study individually. I want you to know that there are many people who study languages alone, individually, you know. They take a book, a dictionary, and they begin studying, and they learn German or Russian. I don't know how they do it, you know. I don't know how they do it. Another opinion about number 3. Nobody. Let's go to 4. Do you think project work is an approach more suited to older or younger students? Why? Project work. That is, I'm a teacher and I assign a project work to students, and this work requires time, so the due time to deliver back the work can be in a month or 2 months. It requires time because it requires, you know, because you have done it, research in the library, investigations in the labs sometimes, etc., etc. So the question, I repeat the question, do you think project work is an approach more suited, más adecuado, more suited to older or younger students? Opinions. I'm expecting a boy to speak. I don't hear Ivan, I don't hear Alvaro. Only the girls are speaking in my class. Alvaro, I think, is not in the class because he had a problem with the microphone, he told me. Ivan?
Yes, I'm here, but I try to share the microphone with the girls because I spoke at the beginning of the class a lot.
Yes, yes.
So try, but in that question, I think it's better for other students to do this kind of project because they can use the technology or the library better than a younger student does. So I think it's better for other students, but there is a disadvantage that I want to say is about older people. They sometimes can't how do you say get a schedule to join to do this kind of work, this kind of project, because sometimes people work in the morning, other in the afternoon, other at weekends. So it's very difficult to make a schedule to join to do this kind of project. So I think this is my opinion.
Yes, and that is what, Ivan, what Cambridge teachers expect from you, huh? Because maybe you don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So what the teachers expect is that you give your opinion. The opinion can be a wonderful philosophical opinion, or maybe not, but you speak, you pass. Very good. Let me tell you. You're welcome, my friend. Let me tell you what I think. When I give you my opinion, friend, it's because I am preparing you just in case. Imagine that in your exam in the future, the teacher asks you this and you have no ideas. Oh my God. What is my opinion about number 4? Project work requires, as Ivan said, it requires a lot of responsibilities. First of all, because you have to do a lot of research, you have to go to the library, you have to make a lot of bibliographical research, and you maybe it is a lab, you have to go to the lab, etc. You have to plan everything, you have to plan in time everything you are going to do this week, next week, etc. You have to plan the meetings with the rest of the team, and it has to be very careful plan, because as Ivan said, maybe tomorrow I can attend to the meeting, but the other students cannot. So it has to be a very careful program for meetings, etc. And friends, if you are very young, you are not responsible enough for doing all these things. So maybe, in my opinion, right? It's my opinion. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. But in my opinion, that I think that older people can assume, you know, a project work better than younger people. 5, which do you think is more important for a student's point of view? A good teacher or a small class? What is more important for a student? A good teacher or a small class?
I think that a good teacher.
Explain.
Because if you have a good teacher, that teacher can make a class of 5 people or 50 people work and learn a lot. But if the teacher is awful, you have nothing to do in the class. If it is small, you do nothing, and if it is big, you do
Less.
even less. Yes.
Yes, I agree with you. I think there is no better answer than that. I think this is the perfect answer. Yes, I agree with you. I am thinking of my teachers when I was a student, and I agree with you. If the teacher is good, the teacher is going to be able to handle discipline and teach. If the teacher, it doesn't matter, as you said, if there are 5 or 50 or 150 students, it doesn't matter, good teacher. If the teacher is awful, as you said, he can be teaching only one student and it's going to be a disaster. Perfect. Now, I don't insist in 5 because this is the perfect answer. Now, 6, do you think that exams are the best and fairest means of assessing? Assessing es evaluar, ¿saben? No asesinarlos, no. Of assessing students. Why or why not? Exams. Because many people are debating the importance of exams as a way of assessing students. Some people consider that exams are not necessary, and other people consider that exams are very important in the process of teaching and learning. Opinions about this. Patri, what do you think about exams, Patri? Patri Paez.
Well, I don't like I don't like exams a lot, but I think that yeah, well, nobody likes exams, but I think that they are really necessary for teachers to measure maybe the ability and the capacity of their students. And then, yeah, it is also a way for yourself to try to prove if your level is adequate or not, and if you are doing well or not. And and I think that for teachers is it's good. Even that and sometimes maybe they are not fair, because sometimes maybe about the subject maybe, and you can fail. This may happen sometimes, and this in this case maybe it's not fair, but I think that's life.
Yes, Patri, I agree with you. Exams as such are not always fair. I know cases because I've been a teacher for a long period of time. So I have a lot of experiences in exam. I've seen students who are very good students during the course, during the semester, and then in the final exams, they get bad results because that day or that week, they were feeling ill, or they had some kind of familiar problem or things that are unconsciously affecting the result of the student in the exam. So exams are not fair. But on the other side of the story, I've seen some school, I have worked, I remember a school in New Jersey, they were experimenting with no exams, evaluating the students for their for their performance in class. They were constantly making small quizzes, evaluaciones pequeñitas, small quizzes, every week or sometimes every 2 weeks. So they have an idea of the quality of the students without the necessity of an exam. They were experimenting with that. But something happened in that school, I remember, it was many years ago. Then the evaluation of the students was a little bit subjective. Do you understand? Subjective. So the evaluation of the students depending on how the teacher saw the students. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. And not always the teachers were fair. I remember a case in which there was a problem between the teacher and the student because the student had some discipline problems. Discipline, but not knowledge, not academic, discipline. You see, and the teacher tried to get some revenge over the student because of the problem of discipline in class with the grading, with the, como decimos, con la calificación, with the grading of the student. So the evaluation, the final grade of the student was low, not because the student didn't know the contents of the semester, no, because the attitude of the student in class, with that teacher in particular. See, that's the problem. If the evaluation of a student depends on the opinion of the teacher, bad thing. Because sometimes the teacher is too good, everybody is good, every student is good, everybody's passing. And sometimes it's the opposite. The teacher is very strict and only the ones he loves pass the exam. That's why even when exam is not fair and it's not the perfect solution, I, as a student, me, myself, I prefer an exam. So my evaluation doesn't depend on the concept that the teacher has on me, but my results. That's why I think that exams sometimes are a little bit necessary. Maybe one day we will have the conditions to finish doing exams, but not now. In my opinion, friends, I respect your opinion too. Well, and now what? This is speaking part 4. Imagine, my friends, if here in class, where I can't see you, you can't see me, you are in your house, I am here at home, and there are students who are afraid of speaking. Imagine in the real exam, I can't imagine that moment. That's why I really appreciate the students who always speak in my class, always, with defects, with mistakes, with intonation problems, with pronunciation difficulties. They speak, and that is fantastic, because people who speak, they pass, right? So you, friends, you have to make an effort to speak in our classes, because we don't have many opportunities of speaking in English in other situations. But now, relax, everybody. Let's go to the other big problem in my English classes. The other big problem is listening. So let's practice a little bit of listening. For this listening in particular, we are going to page 53 workbook. No students, workbook. Let's go there. Workbook, here. Yes, workbook. Page number 53. This is 52. And now we are in 53, listening. Please, everybody, take your workbooks. Page 53, listening. You will hear 3 different extracts. For questions 1 to 6, choose the answer A, B, or C. Always in the listening exam, part 1 is similar to this, right? You have to select A, B, or C. It says, which fits best according to what you hear? There are 2 questions for each extract. Now I'm going to give you some minutes. Some means only 2 minutes, no more, for you to read the questions and answer and use your dictionaries before listening, right? Come on, let's do it. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, I begin the exercise. Okay, I think you are ready for the listening. You have in the chat the audio for this. Let's listen to this. Well, friends, I have already sent to you the audio by WhatsApp group. So I think you have in the WhatsApp group, you have the audio. I'm going to give you 1 more minute extra, just in case you need to read something, one particular thing again. 1 minute, right? In 1 minute, I begin checking. Well, as soon as you are ready, send me a message for me to begin checking the answers. Martha finished. And Anna finished. I know I finished. Very good, friends. Very good. The girls are finishing. The boys. Alvaro, Ivan, have you finished? Okay, Alvaro. Okay, good. Thank you, Ivan. Let's give 1 moment for Álvaro. Okay, very good. Well, number one, you hear two people talking in a university about studying abroad. Number one, what did the woman find most difficult about studying at the French university? A, B, or C? Opinions. B for Anna. For Patrick Pais is B. For Ivan, the monitor, is B. For Álvaro is B also. And the answer is B. Yes, B. You have 1 mark because the methods of teaching is the correct answer. In number 2, what decision did the woman make during her time in France? A, B, or C? Opinions. A, B, or C? For Anna is A, for Álvaro is letter C, for Patri is letter B. We have all the options. For Martha is letter C, for Paula Moreno, hi Paula, is letter C, and for Ainhoa is letter B. Friends, the correct answer is letter C. She would try to make contact with foreign students in England. Yes, Ivan. Letter C, number 2 is letter C. Well, let's go to extract 2. You hear two people talking in a shop. 3. What surprised the woman about the products on sale? A, B, or C? Opinions. For Ainhoa is letter B. For Anna is letter B. For Patrick Pais is letter B. Ivan is B. Álvaro is B. Friends, perfect. The answer is B. They seemed very stylish. Let's go to number 4. What do the speakers agree on about the shop? A, B, or C? B for Ainhoa. A for Álvaro. We have all the options. A for Patrick Pais. Martha Moreno, A. O, B. Ana Huerta, A. And the answer is letter C. It will be successful. In number 4 is letter C. Let's go to extract 3. You hear an interview with a woman who is a trapeze artist in a circus. What does she find most satisfying about her job? A, B, or C? Opinions. For Ainhoa is A. For Patrick is A. For Martha is A. For Anna is A, Álvaro is A, and yes, friends, number 5 is A, being able to express herself artistically. 6, she compares herself to a pilot because they both need to A, B, or C. C for Anna, C for Ainhoa. And nobody else. For Patrick Pais, B. And for Moreno it is C, for Álvaro is C, and the answer is letter C, stay calm, right? So I repeat the answers. Number 1 is B, number 2 is C, number 3 is B, number 4 is C, number 5 is A, and finally, number 6 is letter C. They are 6, like in the exam. You need 4 correct answers to pass this imaginary evaluation. And now, friends, let's go to the grammar aspect of you.
Jerry, sorry, can you repeat the answer, please?
Yes, with pleasure. Listen, Ivan, number 1 is B. Number 2 is letter C. Number 3 is letter B. Number 4 is letter C. Number 5 is A. And number 6, C. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, friend.
Okay,
Let's
thank
go
you.
to the grammar aspect of unit number 10, and I refer to page number 112 in your student's book. 112. Let's go to the student's book, page 112. This one. Grammar. Expressing ability, possibility, obligation. And I want you to analyze exercise 1, only exercise 1, discuss these questions about extract AG from reading and use of English part 8. Question 1, which extract express ability? Which extracts express possibility? And which obligation? Only this one, 1, no 1, 2, because we don't have time, right? Because we don't have time. So 1, 1. Let's do it. Tell me when you finish. Well, friends, letter A. It meant I couldn't pop into town to do my shopping. What do you think it expresses? Possibility, ability, obligation? For Anna is possibility, for Martha is obligation. Friends, and the rest of the class? For Patrick is possibility. So Anna possibility, Martha obligation, I know a possibility. For Patrick is possibility, for Alvaro is obligation. Friends, in letter A, it meant I couldn't pop into town to do my shopping. This is possibility. I didn't have the possibility. Possibility, no, letter A. B, I had narrowed down my options to just 3 possibilities, but I still couldn't decide between them. I still couldn't decide. And this one, in letter B, ability, possibility, or obligation. Ability for Patty, ability for Natalie, and ability for Anna. Yes, ability is the answer. Very good, congratulations. Letter C. I then had to choose which first degree I should take before starting law school. I had to choose obligation for Anna. Yes, obligation for Natalie and Patrick. Correct, friends, girls, you are right, it's obligation. Letter D. I could become an engineer and apply math at a practice level. I could become an engineer and I could apply math. This is possibility. Yes, Patrick. Possibility, Alvaro. Yes. And Anna. Yes, friends. Possibility. E. I needn't have worried. I needn't have worried. No necesité haberme apresurado. What is this? This is very necessity, obligation. It is obligation, Patrick. Yes. Lo que pasa es que es, como es negativo, no había obligación, pero es obligations, friends. Yes. F. Because in the end, I didn't have to choose. I didn't have to choose. Again, similar is obligation. Negativo, sabe que no hubo. Yes. G. I'll be able to start teaching as soon as I qualify. Possibility, Natalie. Yes, it is possibility. Correct. Well, friends, the homework for next class is in the chat. But also, I have sent the homework via WhatsApp group. So you have the homework in the chat, and which is reading comprehension, right? It's reading comprehension. And also you have the homework in your WhatsApp group. Okay, Ivan, but do you see the homework, Ivan, monitor? Can you see the homework? Ivan, can you see the homework? Well, I repeat, the homework is in the chat, right? You can see there, and also in the WhatsApp group. So this is the homework. We will have another class, but next week, right? So see you next week. Have a beautiful, wonderful, well, according to the circumstances, weekend, right? Bye-bye, friends.
Bye, Jerry. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Alvaro. Bye, friends. Bye-bye, Ainhoa.
Shit. My God. I can't handle it.